I left my husband for another man and got pregnant. He locked me out with a baby and cut off his own parents for defending me. I'm standing on the porch of what used to be my house, holding a 3-month-old baby that isn't my husband's, and the door is locked. It's 11:17 p.m., and I can see Ryan through the living room window. He's sitting on the couch, headphones on, staring at his laptop like I don't exist. I've been knocking for 7 minutes. My phone is ringing. It's his parents. Again. I'm not answering because 2 hours ago they begged him to take me back and he told them if they ever contact him again, he's done with them forever. He meant it. This is Sarah Mitchell. I'm 29 years old. And 6 months ago I left my husband of 6 years for a coworker named David who promised me everything Ryan couldn't give me. Excitement. Passion. A fresh start. 3 months ago David disappeared when I told him I was pregnant. And tonight I came back to Ryan with another man's baby, asking for a second chance. His parents defended me. So he cut them off. Completely. And now the door is locked and I have nowhere to go. Let me tell you how I got here. Ryan and I met in college. Married at 23. He was stable. Reliable. Kind. He had a good job in IT. We had a nice house. We had plans. Kids eventually. Maybe a dog. The life everyone says you're supposed to want. But somewhere around year 5, I started feeling invisible. Ryan worked long hours. Came home tired. We'd eat dinner in silence. Watch TV. Go to bed. Repeat. He wasn't neglectful. He wasn't mean. He was just there. And I wanted more. I told myself I deserved to feel alive again. To feel wanted. To feel special. That's when David started at my company. Sales department. Confident. Charming. The kind of guy who makes you feel like you're the only person in the room. He'd stop by my desk. Make jokes. Ask about my day. Actually listen to my answers. It started innocent. Coffee in the break room. Lunch in the cafeteria. Then lunch off-site. Then drinks after work. Then texts that had nothing to do with work. Thinking about you. You look beautiful today. Your husband's an idiot if he doesn't see what he has. I knew it was wrong. I knew I should stop. But it felt so good to be wanted like that. To have someone pursue me. To feel alive. Ryan didn't notice. Or maybe he did and didn't say anything. Either way, I told myself it was his fault. If he'd paid more attention, I wouldn't need this. 3 months into the affair, David and I slept together. His apartment. After a work happy hour. I told Ryan I was staying at my friend Michelle's place. It happened again. And again. And again. I was living 2 lives. Wife Sarah who made dinner and watched Netflix with Ryan. And other Sarah who snuck around with David and felt electric every time he touched me. My friends knew something was off. Michelle asked me point blank if I was cheating. I lied. Said everything was fine. She didn't believe me but she didn't push. 6 months into the affair, David told me he loved me. That I should leave Ryan. That we could build something real together. That I deserved to be happy. I believed him. Because I wanted to believe him. Because the affair wasn't enough anymore. I wanted the whole thing. The relationship. The future. Everything. I told Ryan on a Tuesday night. March 14th. We were sitting on the couch. He was on his laptop. Working from home like always. I'm leaving you. He looked up. Confused. What? I'm leaving you. I'm in love with someone else. I want a divorce. I expected anger. Yelling. Something. He just stared at me. Then he closed his laptop. Who? David. From my work. How long? 6 months. He nodded slowly. So when you said you were at Michelle's all those nights? I was with him. Ryan stood up. Walked to the bedroom. Came back with a blanket and pillow. Set them on the couch. I'll sleep here tonight. You can have the bedroom. Tomorrow you can pack your things. That was it. No screaming. No begging. Just acceptance. It almost made it worse. I moved out that weekend. David helped me move into his apartment. Ryan didn't fight the divorce. Didn't ask for anything. Just signed the papers and split everything 50-50. The whole thing was done in 3 months. My parents were devastated. Said I was making the biggest mistake of my life. I told them they didn't understand. That I was finally choosing myself. That I was going to be happy. Ryan's parents called me. Begged me to reconsider. Said Ryan was destroyed. That he loved me. That I was throwing away something real for something temporary. I told them I'd made my choice. That Ryan would be fine. That we both deserved to be with people who made us happy. They hung up crying. The first month with David was perfect. We'd stay up all night talking. Have sex like teenagers. Go on dates. Do all the things Ryan and I had stopped doing. I felt alive. I felt wanted. I felt like I'd made the right choice. Month 2, cracks started showing. David got jealous when I talked to male coworkers. Checked my phone while I was in the shower. Asked where I was if I didn't text back within 10 minutes. I told myself it was just passion. That he cared so much he couldn't help it. That it was different from Ryan's indifference. Month 3, I missed my period. Took 3 tests. All positive. I was pregnant. I was terrified but also hopeful. This could be our fresh start. A baby. A family. Everything I'd wanted. I told David that night. Made his favorite dinner. Had the positive test in a little gift box. He stared at the test. You're keeping it? Of course I'm keeping it. This is our baby. Sarah, I don't know if I'm ready for this. We'll figure it out together. I never said I wanted kids. You said you loved me? You said we'd build a life together. Yeah, but I didn't mean right now. That's when things changed. David got distant. Started working late. Stopped coming home some nights. Said he was staying with friends. I knew he was pulling away, but I was pregnant and alone and I'd already burned my bridges with Ryan. Month 4, David stopped pretending. Told me flat out he wasn't ready to be a father. That this wasn't what he signed up for. That maybe we'd moved too fast. You told me to leave my husband. I didn't tell you to get pregnant. It takes 2 people, David. Well, I'm not ready for this. I don't know what you want me to say. Month 5, David started sleeping on the couch. Barely spoke to me. Came home at 2 a.m. smelling like perfume. When I confronted him, he said I was being paranoid. That pregnancy was making me crazy. Month 6, David moved out. Said he needed space. That he'd be back. That he just needed time to process. He never came back. Month 7, David stopped answering my calls. Blocked my number. Blocked me on social media. I went to his new apartment. He wouldn't answer the door. I could hear him inside. I called his work. They said he'd quit. No forwarding information. He was just gone. I was 7 months pregnant, alone, broke, and I destroyed my marriage for a man who'd abandoned me the second things got hard. I tried reaching out to friends. Most didn't respond. Michelle finally answered. What do you want, Sarah? I'm pregnant and alone and I don't know what to do. You made your choice. You destroyed your marriage for David. Now you're stuck with the consequences. Please, Michelle. I need help. You need to figure this out yourself. Like you should have figured it out before you cheated on Ryan. She hung up. My parents agreed to let me stay with them until the baby was born. But they made it clear they were disappointed. That I'd made my bed. That they'd warned me. The baby was born on a Tuesday. November 7th. A boy. 7 pounds, 4 ounces. I named him Connor. After Ryan's middle name. I don't know why. Maybe I thought it would help. Maybe I was already planning to go back. 3 weeks after Connor was born, I tried calling Ryan. He didn't answer. I texted. No response. I showed up at the house. He wasn't there. I called his parents. His mom answered. Sarah? Oh my God, Sarah, is that you? Hi, Mrs. Fletcher. I know you probably don't want to hear from me, but... Are you okay? We heard you had the baby. Congratulations. Thank you. I was hoping. Is Ryan there? Silence. Mrs. Fletcher? He's dating someone. Her name is Emma. She's very sweet. My stomach dropped. Oh. But he's not happy, Sarah. We can tell. He still loves you. If you came back, if you apologized, I think he'd forgive you. You really think so? I know so. A mother knows these things. Come to the house this Sunday. For dinner. We'll talk to him together. Thank you. Thank you so much. That Sunday I drove to the Fletcher's house with Connor in the car seat. 3 months old. David's son. The permanent reminder of my betrayal. Mrs. Fletcher answered the door. Hugged me. Cooed over the baby. Mr. Fletcher was awkward but kind. They'd always liked me. Ryan arrived 20 minutes later. Saw me sitting on the couch holding Connor. His face went completely blank. What is this? His mom stood up. Ryan, sweetie, Sarah came to talk. We think you two should. No. He looked at me. Why are you here? I made a mistake. A huge mistake. David's gone. He left me when I got pregnant. And I know I don't deserve it, but I'm asking if there's any chance. Any chance of what? That I take you back? Take you and his baby back? I know it's asking a lot. It's not asking a lot. It's insane. You left me for him. You told me you loved him. You divorced me. And now that he abandoned you, you want to come back? I was wrong. I was so wrong. You were everything I needed and I was too stupid to see it. His mom jumped in. Ryan, she's apologizing. She's alone with a baby. She needs help. You can't just abandon her. Ryan turned to his mother. She abandoned me first. She made a mistake. She made a choice. And so did he. And now she's dealing with the consequences. Ryan Fletcher, you were raised better than this. She needs help. That baby needs. That baby is not my problem. His dad spoke up. Son, I know you're hurt. Hurt? I'm not hurt, Dad. I'm done. I'm completely done. She chose David. She chose this life. And now she gets to live with it. Mrs. Fletcher was crying. Please, Ryan. She's family. We can't just turn our backs. She stopped being family when she filed for divorce. When she moved in with him. When she got pregnant with his baby. But. No. I'm not doing this. Sarah, you need to leave. Ryan, please. Leave. Now. His mom grabbed his arm. Ryan, you can't be this heartless. Look at her. Look at the baby. They need help. Ryan pulled his arm away. Then you help her. We will. We are. But she needs you. No. She needs David. The man she left me for. The father of her child. She doesn't get to come back to me because her first choice didn't work out. She's sorry. People make mistakes. And people deal with consequences. He looked at both his parents. Here's the thing. You can help her all you want. But if you do, if you defend her, if you try to push this, then you're choosing her over me. And if you choose her, we're done. Permanently. His mom gasped. Ryan, you don't mean that. I completely mean that. Choose. Her or me. Right now. The room went silent. His parents looked at each other. At me. At Connor. At Ryan. His mom spoke quietly. Ryan, she has a baby. She has nowhere to go. We can't just. You just chose. Ryan walked to the door. Opened it. Sarah, get out of my house. Ryan. Get. Out. His mom was crying. Ryan, please, don't do this. You chose her. You defended her. After what she did to me. So we're done. All of us. Don't call me. Don't text me. Don't show up at my house. We're done. You're being unreasonable. I'm being clear. You picked her. So you get to deal with her. I'm out. He walked out. Got in his car. Drove away. His mom was sobbing. His dad looked shell-shocked. I sat there holding Connor, realizing what I'd just done. I'd not only destroyed my marriage. I destroyed Ryan's relationship with his parents. Because they tried to defend me. Mrs. Fletcher tried calling him. He didn't answer. She texted. No response. For 3 hours she tried reaching him. Nothing. Finally she got a text back. I meant what I said. You chose her. We're done. Don't contact me again. She collapsed on the couch crying. Mr. Fletcher tried calling. Ryan blocked his number. They'd lost their son. Because of me. Mrs. Fletcher looked at me. You should go. I'm so sorry. Just go, Sarah. Please just go. I drove to Ryan's house. His car was in the driveway. Lights on in the living room. I got out with Connor. Walked to the door. Knocked. Through the window I could see him. On the couch. Headphones on. Looking at his laptop. I knocked again. Harder? He glanced at the door. Looked right at me. Then looked back at his laptop. I knocked for 7 minutes straight. He never moved. My phone started ringing. Mrs. Fletcher. Over and over. I didn't answer. Because I knew what she'd say. That I destroyed everything. That I'd cost them their son. At 11:47 p.m. I gave up. Got back in my car. Connor was crying. I was crying. And I had nowhere to go. Because the man I'd left wouldn't take me back. The man I'd left him for had abandoned me. And the people who'd tried to defend me had lost their son because of it. I destroyed 3 families in 6 months. Mine, Ryan's, and now his parents. All because I'd wanted to feel alive. All because I'd convinced myself I deserved better. All because I'd believed David when he said we could build something real. And now I was alone with another man's baby, locked out of the house that used to be mine, watching through the window as my ex-husband built a life that didn't include me. This is what choosing yourself looks like when you choose wrong. I slept in my car that night. Connor in the back seat in his car seat. Me in the front, seat reclined, trying to sleep between his crying and my own. At 3 a.m. I fed him with formula I'd mixed in a gas station bathroom. At 5 a.m. I changed his diaper in the Walmart parking lot. At 7 a.m. I called my parents. Can I come back? Just for a few more days until I figure something out. My mom's voice was tired. Defeated. Sarah, no. We told you that you could stay until the baby was born. He's born. You need to figure out your own life. I have nowhere to go. You should have thought about that before you went to Ryan's house and destroyed his relationship with his parents. Mrs. Fletcher called me last night. Crying. Do you know what you did? I was just trying to. You were trying to fix your mistake by making it everyone else's problem. Ryan's parents lost their son because they defended you. And now you want us to take you in again? I'm your daughter. And you're an adult who made adult choices. Deal with adult consequences. I'm sorry, Sarah. I love you. But no. She hung up. I sat in that parking lot until 9 a.m. when I got a call from an unknown number. Sarah? This is Linda Fletcher. Ryan's mom. Mrs. Fletcher, I'm so sorry about last night. I need you to stop calling Ryan. Stop going to his house. Stop trying to contact him. I just thought if I could talk to him. You cost me my son, Sarah. My only son. He blocked both of us. Won't answer calls. Won't respond to texts. His father drove to his house this morning. Ryan wouldn't answer the door. We lost him because we tried to help you. I didn't mean for that to happen. But it did happen. And now I need you to leave him alone. Leave us alone. We can't help you anymore. We can't afford to lose him permanently. But you said he still loved me? I was wrong. Or maybe I was right and you killed whatever was left. Either way, it's over. Stop trying. Stop showing up. Stop dragging us into your mess. She hung up. That's when it really hit me. Ryan wasn't coming back. His parents weren't going to help. My parents had cut me off. My friends were gone. David was gone. I was completely alone. I'd been staying at a cheap motel for 3 days when social services showed up. Someone had called about a woman living in a car with a newborn. They took Connor for a wellness check. Asked me a lot of questions about my living situation. My income. My support system. I had no living situation. No income. No support system. They gave me resources. Shelters. Assistance programs. Welfare applications. But they made it very clear that if I couldn't provide stable housing soon, they'd have concerns about Connor's safety. I got on welfare. Food stamps. WIC. Applied for low-income housing. Got on a waiting list that was 9 months long. Found a basement apartment in the worst part of town that would take someone with my situation. $650 a month for a moldy box with 1 window. I took it. Got a job at a call center. $13 an hour. My aunt agreed to watch Connor during my shifts but made it clear she was doing it for him, not for me. 2 months after the night Ryan locked me out, I was working full-time, barely affording rent and formula, living in a basement that smelled like mildew, raising a baby that looked more like David every single day. 3 months later, I saw Michelle at the grocery store. She saw me, turned her cart around and went the other way. I followed her. Michelle, please. Can we just talk? We don't have anything to talk about. I know you're mad at me, but I'm not mad, Sarah. I'm done. You cheated on Ryan. You destroyed a good man. You left him for David. Got pregnant. And then had the audacity to try to go back and drag his parents into your mess. You're not the person I was friends with. People make mistakes. Mistakes are accidents. What you did was a choice. Multiple choices. Every single day for 6 months you chose to cheat. Then you chose to leave. Then you chose to come back when it didn't work out. Those aren't mistakes. That's who you are. Please, I'm so alone. Then you shouldn't have burned every bridge you had. She walked away. I stood there in the cereal aisle holding Connor, crying, while people stared. 4 months later, I tried reaching out to Ryan one more time. Sent him a long email. Told him I understood if he hated me. That I didn't expect forgiveness. But that I wanted him to know I understood now. That I'd given up everything real for something temporary. That he'd been right all along. He responded in 4 words, "Do not contact me." 5 months later, I saw on Facebook that Ryan was engaged. To Emma. The girl he'd been dating. The post was full of comments. "Congratulations. She's so lucky. You two are perfect together." I looked at the photos. Ryan smiling. Actually smiling? Looking at Emma the way he used to look at me. Looking happy. Free. Like I'd never existed. I tried to feel angry. Tried to tell myself he'd moved on too fast. But I couldn't. Because he hadn't moved on too fast. I'd left him. I'd ended the marriage. I'd burned it down. He was allowed to be happy. He was allowed to build a new life. I was the one who wasn't allowed to move on. Because I had Connor. David's son. The permanent reminder of every terrible choice I'd made. 6 months later, I heard through the grapevine that Ryan's parents had tried reaching out to him one more time. He'd sent them a letter. Told them he loved them but couldn't have them in his life as long as they maintained any contact with me. That he needed them to respect his boundary. That if they couldn't, he understood, but their relationship was over. They chose him. Cut me off completely. I understood. Of course they chose their son. But it still hurt. 7 months later, David's mother contacted me. Said she'd heard about Connor. That David had told them he had a son but that the mother was unstable and wouldn't let him be involved. I laughed. Actually laughed. Is that what he told you? Well, isn't it true? David disappeared when I was 7 months pregnant. Blocked my number. Quit his job. I haven't heard from him in over a year. He abandoned his son before he was even born. That doesn't sound like David. It is David. But if you want to believe his version, go ahead. Connor and I don't need anything from your family. She tried to argue, but I hung up. David's family didn't reach out again. Not even a Christmas card. Not even a birthday card for Connor. Their own grandson didn't exist to them. 8 months later, I ran into Ryan and Emma at Target. They were looking at furniture. Laughing. Holding hands. I watched them for 5 minutes from behind a display of cleaning supplies. They looked at dining room tables. Emma said something that made Ryan laugh. Really laugh. He kissed her forehead. They moved on to looking at area rugs. They looked so normal. So happy. So completely in love. I looked down at Connor in the cart. 10 months old. Fussy. Teething. Looking more like David every day. A permanent reminder of what I'd traded Ryan for. I left before they saw me. 9 months later, Ryan got married. I saw the photos on Facebook. Beautiful ceremony. Emma in a white dress. Ryan in a suit. His parents were there. Both of them. Crying happy tears. Hugging Emma. Hugging Ryan. Back in his life. Because they'd chosen him. Given up on me. And earned him back. I wasn't invited. Obviously. But seeing those photos hurt more than the engagement had. Because they showed me exactly what I'd lost. A man who loved me. A family who would have been there. A life that was stable and good and real. I traded all of that for passion. For excitement. For feeling alive. And I'd gotten 6 months of happiness followed by years of consequences. Connor turned 1. I bought him a cake. My aunt came over for 10 minutes. Sang happy birthday. Left. No one else came. Because I had no one else. I posted a photo on Facebook. One comment. From a girl I'd barely known in high school. Cute. That night I looked through old photos on my phone. Me and Ryan on our wedding day. Me and Ryan on vacation in Mexico. Me and Ryan at his parents' house for Thanksgiving. Me and Ryan curled up on the couch watching movies. I deleted so many photos during the divorce. Trying to move on. Trying to convince myself I'd made the right choice. But I kept a few. And looking at them now, I saw what I'd been too stupid to see then. Ryan had loved me. Completely. Maybe he'd been boring. Maybe he'd worked too much. Maybe we'd fallen into a routine. But he'd been faithful. He'd been kind. He'd been planning a future with me. And I'd thrown it away because David made me feel alive for 6 months. Connor started talking. His first word was mama. Should have made me happy. Just made me sad. Because he'd never say dada. Because his father wanted nothing to do with him. Because I'd created a life with a man who'd abandoned us both. I tried dating. Created a profile on a dating app. Put recent photos. Mentioned I had a son. Got a few matches. Went on 2 dates. Both guys ghosted after I told them the full story. That I'd left my husband for someone else. That I'd gotten pregnant. That the father wanted nothing to do with us. One guy actually said, "Yeah, that's too much baggage." Sorry. He was right. It was too much baggage. I was too much baggage. I stopped trying to date. Focused on Connor. Tried to be a good mom. Tried to give him a stable life. But it was hard. So hard. Working full-time. Coming home exhausted. Feeding him. Bathing him. Putting him to bed. Then crying myself to sleep in a moldy basement apartment. This wasn't the life I'd imagined when I left Ryan. I'd imagined passion and excitement and being with someone who made me feel alive. I'd gotten 6 months of that. Then 15 months and counting of being completely alone with a baby who reminded me every day of the man who'd abandoned us. I saw Ryan's parents once at the pharmacy. His mom saw me. Looked away quickly. Pretended she didn't see me. I understood. They'd lost their son because of me. They'd gotten him back by cutting me off. They weren't going to risk that again. I wanted to tell them I was sorry. That I understood. That I didn't blame them. But I didn't. Just watch them pay for their prescriptions and leave. Together. Happy. Back in Ryan's life. While I was alone. Connor turned 2. I bought him a cake again. My aunt came over again. This time she brought her daughter. They stayed 20 minutes. Left. Connor was too young to understand he didn't have friends. Didn't have family. Didn't have anything but a mother who destroyed both their lives before he was even born. I worked. I paid bills. I took care of Connor. I existed. That was all I did anymore. Exist. No friends. No family. No relationship. No career. Just a job that paid enough to keep us in a moldy basement. Just a life that revolved around consequences. I saw Ryan one more time. At a park. He was with Emma and a little girl. Maybe 3 years old. Blonde pigtails. Pink dress. Laughing as Ryan pushed her on the swing. His daughter. He had a baby with Emma. They'd built the family he and I were supposed to build. I watched them from my car. Emma sitting on a bench. Ryan pushing the little girl. All 3 of them laughing. Looking so perfect. So happy. So completely unaffected by the fact that I existed. I'd been erased from his life. Replaced. Like I'd never mattered. Like 6 years of marriage had meant nothing. But that wasn't fair. Because I was the one who'd erased myself. I was the one who'd left. I was the one who'd chosen David over Ryan. I was the one who'd destroyed everything. Ryan had just moved on. Built something new. Found someone who wouldn't cheat on him. Wouldn't leave him. Wouldn't destroy him. He'd found someone better. Someone who deserved him. Someone who wasn't me. I drove home. Put Connor down for a nap. Sat in my kitchen looking at the photo on my phone. The one of Ryan and me on our wedding day. Both of us smiling. Young. In love. Planning forever. I destroyed forever in 6 months. For a man who'd promised me everything and given me nothing but a baby and trauma. This is my warning to anyone reading this. Anyone who thinks their marriage is boring. Anyone who thinks they deserve more. Anyone who thinks the grass might be greener. It's not. I left a good man who loved me for a man who wanted me. There's a difference. A huge difference. And I didn't see it until it was too late. Ryan loved me. Wanted a future with me. Would have grown old with me. Would have built a life with me. David wanted me? Past tense. Wanted me until I got pregnant. Wanted me until things got hard. Then he didn't want me anymore. And now I'm raising David's son alone while Ryan raises his daughter with Emma. And I know in my soul, that Emma will never cheat on him. Because she's not stupid like I was. She's not selfish like I was. She sees what she has. And she'll never trade it for 6 months of feeling alive. I traded everything real for something temporary. And now temporary is gone and real is gone and all I have left is consequences. Connor will grow up asking about his father. And I'll have to tell him the truth. That his father didn't want him. That his father abandoned us. That his father is out there somewhere living his life like Connor doesn't exist. And Connor will look at me and ask why. And I won't have a good answer. Because there is no good answer. I destroyed 3 lives. Mine. Connor's. And Ryan's relationship with his parents, even though they got him back eventually. All because I wanted to feel special. All because I convinced myself I deserved better. All because I believed a liar over the man who'd vowed to love me forever. I cheated and left my husband for another man. Then came back with his baby. Only to watch him lock me out and cut off his parents for defending me. And now I'm locked out permanently. From his life. From the life I could have had. From everything I threw away. The door is locked. And I'm the one who locked it from the wrong side.